Hello students, welcome to the another lecture of the engineering chemistry course. Before starting today's lecture, just have a quick review of the last class. In the last class we have started with the unit 4th. The unit 4 contains three main topics: cement, glass and the lubricants. In the previous class we have started with the topic cement, in which we have studied the history of cement, introduction about the Portland cement, the raw materials required for the manufacturing of the Portland cement, and the manufacturing of the Portland cement by rotary kiln technology we have discussed in detail. In the manufacturing process, we have discussed that in the rotary kiln technology, manufacturing of Portland cement can be done in 3 steps, which includes mixing, burning and grinding. Out of these 3 steps, the burning step is carried out in the rotary kiln technology and cement production is completed after the grinding of the clinker with the gypsum. Now in the today's class we are going to discuss about the setting and hardening of cement and the role of gypsum in the cement. So let us start with the setting and the hardening of the cement. Actually, when cement is mixed with water and allowed to stand, it sets a hard rigid mass. This is called the setting of the cement. Thus, setting can be defined as stiffening of the original plastic mass due to the initial gel formation and the chemical reaction. Okay, so this is the setting. While further solidification of this stiffened mass of the stiffened cement takes place to form a compact structure. This is known as the hardening of the cement. So, when we mix the cement with water, it converts into the stiffed mass, plastic mass. This is known as the setting of the cement. And after some time, this settled cement is converted into hard structure. This phenomenon is called as the hardening of cement. So basically, setting is defined as the stiffening of the original plastic mass due to the initial gel formation, while hardening is the development of the strength due to the crystallization reaction. So when cement is mixed with water, initially the gel formation reaction taking place, which are responsible for the initial setting of the cement. While after the gel formation, crystallization reaction starts, and these crystallization reaction along with the hydration reactions are responsible for the hardening of the cement. After the initial setting, due to the gradual progress of the crystallization in the interior mass of the cement, the hardening process starts. The strength developed by cement paste at any time depends upon the amount of initial gel formation, that is the initial setting, and the extent of the crystallization. So what are the two factors which determines the strength of the cement? These are the initial gel formation reactions, and second is the extent of the crystallization. So now first we are looking the reactions involved in the setting and hardening of the cement. When cement is mixed with water, the paste becomes rigid within a short time, which is known as the initial setting. And initial setting of cement is mainly due to the hydration of tricalcium aluminate C3A, tricalcium aluminate, and gel formation of tetracalcium aluminoferrate. We have discussed in our previous class what are these products: aluminates, aluminoferrate and silicates. So basically the initial setting is mainly due to the hydration of tricalcium aluminate, tetracalcium aluminoferrate and the dicalcium silicate are also contribute for the initial setting to form the metastable gels. So basically the chemical reaction involved for the initial setting are the gel formation reaction. So let us look all the reactions here. First is the dicalcium silicate reacts with the water and forms the hydrate silicate gel. This is the hydrated silicate gel, and heat energy is also evolved in this reaction. But the gel formation of the dicalcium silicate is a slow reaction. Therefore, C2S, that is dicalcium silicate on strength, occurs at the age in the 10 days. That means due to this gel formation, strength is provided to the cement, it taking the 10 days. That means gel formation of C2S taking place within the 10 days after mixing with the water. Now, second reaction is the tricalcium silicate. Hydration of the tricalcium silicate. When tricalcium silicate reacts with the water, it forms the hydral gel with the formula 2 calcium oxide dot SiO2 X minus 1 H2O. And in this reaction also, heat energy is evolved. This hydral gel is responsible for the binding action between the aggregates. What are the aggregates here? Aggregates are all of these compounds and the gels which are formed in the hydration reactions. So these are two reactions. One, in first reaction, the dicalcium silicate get hydrated and forms the hydrated silicate gel. In the second reaction, tricalcium silicate get hydrated and forms the hydral gel. Both of these gels are responsible for the initial setting. Along with these two gels, now third reaction for the initial setting is the reaction of tricalcium aluminate with the water. When tricalcium aluminate react with the water, it forms hydrated aluminate gel or the hydrated aluminate, and large amount of heat energy is also evolved in this reaction. And this tricalcium aluminate is very fast sets. Therefore, C3A contributes to the strength occurs within the 24 hours only. Setting time of C3A is very less. It sets very rapidly. And fourth reaction is the reaction of the tetracalcium aluminoferrate. When this tetracalcium aluminoferrate reacts with the water, hydration of this takes place and formation of the hydrated aluminate gel as well as the calcium ferrate gel taken place. So in this reaction also this hydrated aluminate gel forms along with the calcium ferrate gel. So all these reactions are exothermic reaction. In all of these reactions, large amount of heat energy is evolved. So the heat energy evolved in these reactions is used to provide the strength to the cement, as well as it also used to produce greater resistance to the sulfate attack. So these energies are useful for the cemented articles. So this is the initial setting. So basically what are the initial settings reactions? The initial setting reactions are the gel formation reaction. In these reactions, various types of silicates as well as the aluminates and the aluminoferrates reacted with the different amount of the water to form the various type of gels. And these gels are responsible for the initial setting of the cement. And all the gel formation reactions are exothermic reaction, and the heat energy evolved in these reactions is used to provide the strength to the cement, and it is also used to produce greater resistance to the sulfate attack. Now, after setting, the final setting and hardening of cement takes place, which is due to the formation of the tobermonite gel and the crystallization of the calcium hydroxide and the hydrated tricalcium aluminate. So basically for the hardening, which reaction are they important? The crystallization of the hydrated gels is very important for the hardening of the cement. So During setting and hardening of cement, some amount of heat is liberated due to hydration and hydrolysis reaction. The quantity of heat energy evolved during complete hydration is the 500 kilojoule per kilogram. So basically, for the final setting, we can say for the final setting, crystallization reaction is very important and the tobermohnite gel formation is very important. This is the tobermohnite gel formation, in which the tricalcium silicate reacted with the water to form the tobermohnite gel, and calcium hydroxide formation also takes place. This calcium hydroxide, when crystallizes, that means crystallization of calcium hydroxide taken place, and which is responsible for the hardening of the cement. Now, the setting time depends upon the composition of the cement, temperature and the quality of water, but it should be noted that the initial setting time should not be less than the 45 minutes and final setting time should not be more than the 10 hours. That means at least initial setting takes 45 minutes. Before 45 minutes it should not set, and it must be completed maximum within the 10 hours, so that next hardening process or crystallization process may start it. Now, the important topic is the role of gypsum in cement. Why we add gypsum to the cement? Basically, in our previous slides, we discussed that the tricalcium aluminate forms gel formation very rapidly. So, if this reaction taking place very rapidly, that means cement sets before the 45 minutes, but it is not desirable. Therefore, we want to delay this reaction. So here comes the role of gypsum. The presence of gypsum in cement helps to retard the speed of the initial setting. That means the gypsum ensures that cement should not be set before the 30 to 45 minutes. This is due to the formation of the calcium sulfoaluminate, which have slow hydration tendency. So look at here, we want to retard this reaction, that tricalcium aluminate should not react quickly with the water. So what role of gypsum here is? Gypsum actually capture or combines with the tricalcium aluminate. So this is the gypsum, it combines with the tricalcium aluminate and forms the tricalcium sulfoaluminate. So now this tricalcium aluminate is not available for this hydration reaction, so quick setting is not possible when we add the gypsum. Why? Because gypsum react with the tricalcium aluminate and forms the tricalcium sulfoaluminate, which prevents the quick setting of the cement. So this reaction prevents the high concentration of alumina in the cement, because some of the alumina, that is tricalcium aluminate, reacts with the gypsum, and hence it retards the early initial setting of the cement. So I hope it is clear to all of you now. So now it is time for the revision. What we have discussed in the today's class. In the today's class we have discussed two important topics. One is the setting and hardening of cement, and second one is the role of gypsum. Okay. For the initial setting, the initial gel formation reactions are responsible, while for the hardening, crystallization and the formation of tobermohnite gel is the important reaction. In the setting, various type of silicates and aluminates reacted with the water in different ratio, and these forms various type of gels, like here hydrated silicate gel, hydryl gel, hydrated aluminate gel, and the calcium ferrate gel are also formed. And all the gel formation reactions are the exothermic reactions, and the heat energy evolved in these exothermic reactions is used to provide the strength to the cement, as well as it also provide resistance for the sulfate attack. So these all four types of gels are responsible for the initial setting of the cement. After formation of the initial gel, there will be the crystallization reaction, and the crystal forms after the crystallization reactions are responsible for the interlocking of these particles, which provides the strength to the cement. Okay, and next is the role of gypsum. As we have discussed that actually the gypsum combines with the tricalcium aluminate, which is responsible for the rapid setting of the cement, and due to this combination reaction it forms the tricalcium sulfoaluminate, and it decreases the concentration of aluminates in calcium aluminates in the cement. Therefore initial setting time will be delayed. So that's all for the today's lecture. Now I am leaving with this question for you: why it is necessary to provide watering on regular intervals to the newly constructed cemented objects? Think for the answer of this question. We will discuss this answer of this question in our live class tomorrow. Till then, take good care of yourself and enjoy e-learning at home. Thank you.